Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio. Hope everybody's night's doing good. And there's Nigel, as always, right
Wow.
there, first one in.
I think he's in here before us.
He probably is.
Well, thank you so
everything.
much, Nigel, for
Hey,
sharing.
Nigel.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you all the time, Nigel, and
So-
stuff.
So how are you tonight, Carl? I'm going to get you first.
Yeah.
Tired, and wore out. This morning it said it was 41 degrees when we climbed up on a roof, but the wind was blowing. The wind chill was 32. It was cold up on that roof trying to
I'll
finish
bet.
up the roof job.
Yeah, we were watching the Weather Channel, and the only thing I could think of was, well, that looks kind of crappy up there. But
Yeah, they got bad weather down south of Kansas City off and on where we haven't had it up here. So
yeah, well, we got up this morning, and it was about 41 when we got up, but it had gotten down to 33 last night. So I brought in the flowers that I had in pots. And other than that, it's going to be nice. Tonight, our low's supposed to be 50. So we'll get right back up to where we were and enjoy the weather.
Yeah,
Cool.
and that and you got some rain. You got some rain coming in too.
Friday,
Yeah.
maybe.
It
Yeah, if
always
you watch
changes.
all this weather, it's running down the southern part of the states, going down and across.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, I think New Orleans and that's supposed to get some Friday.
Yeah, we got a 70%.
I know we're supposed
chance.
to get some this weekend.
Yeah, we got a chance on Friday, but then we don't have a chance again until Monday, Tuesday. And I'm just hoping for a dry Wednesday, Thursday. We're hoping to take the kids to a gator ranch.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go over and check out Jefferson Davis's home in Biloxi and the Confederate graveyard. And when we check out his residence, there's a cottage there that you can rent. And we're not going to rent the cottage. It's just too small for all of us.
Right.
Here comes our cat that thinks he has to be on side.
Hello, Judy.
Hello.
I want
Speaking of
to
family,
say happy birthday to my mom out there.
Yeah, happy birthday.
39.
and Holden.
Holding.
I don't know how I passed her, but
Yeah, well, that happens
okay.
a lot.
All my kids passed me. I'm 29.
That's right.
And we also want to say happy birthday to Justin Spurrier. I hope that you're having a great day out there at Spurrier Paranormal, and let you know we miss you. And we hope you're having the best day ever. I know that you have to be. You're always laughing. So.
Right. Well, since Nigel's in here and Judy's in here, because I know Nigel wasn't listening to the show last night, let everybody know about the new team.
So Ron and I have been asked to be part of Panhandle Paranormal of Pensacola. So we are still Pridemore Paranormal, but we had to add 3 more P's. So that's where we are. So we're helping out Rob Booth. You guys may remember him. He's the guy who looks like Santa Claus. We're going to be helping him out on some of the cases that they have. They didn't always have enough people to go and do some of these private residentials and stuff. And we're going to be doing some team builders with them. And apparently we also impressed Connie on Saturday when we went out to the graveyard. So it'll be fun.
She's new to the area too. She's been here about
a month longer than I.
Yeah. Not even a year.
She moved here in May. We moved in June. And so she's just learning the area as well. And so it's kind of nice to know that we've got somebody close by that we can talk to and learn about this. But she didn't realize that I had done all my homework before we moved, interviewing people to make sure that
down
we knew.
In that area. Yeah.
So
well, I think she did too.
Well, she tried to, but yeah, we it'll be fun.
Well, what I'm curious about through all the conversation last night was that cemetery you guys went to, and what they call the Black Cemetery back there in the woods.
Yeah.
I want to find out more about that.
Well, I'm going to answer Gina's question. Gina, Thayer is way down at the bottom of the state, so you're too far from Carl. But Carl will be. Carl, why don't you tell her where the paranormal conference is in July? Since she's not
Gina,
that far.
We're having a paranormal conference in Paragould, Arkansas, July 13th, 14th, and 15th. Down there. I'll be down there with my engraving machine, Wizards Engraving. This is put on by Santiago Sorello and Scared City Productions, Scott Bainey,
Springfield,
down there and stuff. So if you're down there, ain't that far from Paragould. It's just right outside Jonesboro. So make sure you check that out.
Hey, Gary. And Gina,
Hi, Gary.
Another person you can check out is Farrah Rose. Check her out on Facebook. She's a demonologist. She's up there in Houston, Missouri. She's not, it's a little ways, but it's not ridiculous. And she loves to talk paranormal. And you may really enjoy that. And Carl, if you can share the link.
I'm getting ready to put it up here. I'm gonna put the whole
Gary.
page up.
And Gina, if you want to send a message to me, I can tell you some more teams that are in the area. Some locations that are, down that way. But you got a lot more Bigfoot hunters down there in Thayer than you do paranormal investigators, to be honest.
Right. Anyway, Gina, I'm going to put this up on the screen. You can find out all the information down there in Paragould if you go to scaredcityproductions.com. Find this Scared City Presents a High On Nation Paranormal Horror Show. It's a paranormal and horror event. A lot of paranormal people will be down there. Blue Bodie will be down there. Keith Age will be down there. Just several right off to Haunted Housewives will be there and everything. Two Realm Paranormal will be down there. So there's going to be a lot of us down there and everything. But check it out at scaredcityproductions.com.
Yeah, if you do go down there, just introduce yourself
to everybody.
To anybody, yeah, Carl or anyone down there.
You'll see me down there with my engravings and everything around Santiago Sorello, who's putting it on from The Walking Dead. You'll see us down there. We'll be around. You'll see me walking around because I'll have my phone going live a lot of times down there too.
Hopefully you got the link.
She should have. Let me see what. She's probably on Paranormal Nation Facebook or on Temple of Phoenix Rising.
That's the one that failed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she got it. She's got it.
All right.
And I'm not going to worry about retyping that for that one. So,
right.
Yeah, contact me on Facebook, and I can give you some other names and some other teams down there.
Yeah, we know some people in Springfield.
Thayer is located just midway in the southern part of Missouri, isn't it?
It's south.
It's almost near the state line of
Missouri.
Missouri.
Isn't it south of Rolla? Somewhere
straight
down in
south,
that area.
You know where Houston is?
Yeah.
It's straight south of it.
Okay. She can also check out David Glidden over there around the Joplin area
60
and everything.
Yeah.
For State Paranormal.
Yep. He's a little bit further
63.
away.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things in the area. But like I said, there just seems to be more cryptids down there. Mammoth Springs, that's right on the state line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's straight south of Houston. Yeah, we drove through it back and forth when we were moving down here.
Right.
So Mammoth Springs is beautiful, and it's got some haunted locations in it, I'm told. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun, getting to know some more people and checking out new locations that
you got a lot of new locations down in there. A lot of them you guys never been to before.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I think we're going to be pretty busy. And Connie, I mean, you see how enthusiastic she is. So,
Oh yeah,
if none of the other team members want to do something, I'm sure she will.
right.
But yeah, we met 2 or 3 weeks ago. The rest of the team at a meeting. Everybody really nice. Yeah, we really liked everybody,
And
that's gonna be fun.
Rob does a lot of residentials down in
Yeah.
the area that you'll be part of. So
Yeah.
We've done those too.
The main thing is for him is that he can't do everything. And a lot of times he ends up going to some of these places alone. And he's just wanting to make sure that he has enough people that can up and go when they can.
right.
And in that case, numbers help. So, hey, Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Michael. Hi.
Tell Susan we said hi. We love her. So, but if our guest does not appear, we are not going to do a very long show.
No, we're not.
Got a million things going on. Carl's tired. I'm tired. Got shit to do. And it's just piling up. Oh, Gina has a question.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen. Just a second here.
What places she goes to?
I have a question. Though being a sensitive, should I really be careful of what places I go to? Yeah, you should. It depends on, there's a couple things. If you're highly sensitive to negativity, it's going to affect you in a lot of different ways. So you might want to stay away from some of those types of places. And, oh, that's not good that your camera's not working right.
Not since the other night.
That's weird. But yeah, you need to pay attention to how the place makes you feel. If the place makes you feel on edge the whole time, you might want to leave. If you're having trouble breathing because you feel something, you might want to leave. But if you think that you can handle it the way that it is, be like me. I stay until I have to leave. There's only been a couple places
use your
I've
gut
had to leave.
feeling on it.
Yeah.
Well,
if you think something's going to go wrong and not feeling great about the whole situation, don't go to it.
No. So,
here's our guest.
So I'd like to introduce you guys to our guest. I hope she's ready for this. And she's on a show that you guys may know from Hulu called Repossessed. She's also been on my ghost story a couple times. She's an author, she's a shaman, and she's a speaker. So she's got a lot of good things. Oh, she's also has her own podcast on Monday nights at 7:00 Central. So I want to introduce you guys to Leitreanna. If I say it wrong, don't kill me.
Right.
Terry Brown.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. I drive a van for work, and the breezy spring weather, I was blowing all over the road. It's like I could tell it's spring. So pardon my tardiness, but I'm so happy to be on your show, and thank you for the invite.
No problem.
This is our shared show. So this is I know that other people had told you, hey, you need to be on the Paranormal Pride, and we can't do that because your show is at the same time as mine.
Right. That's right. And so this is a great way to get around that. And I would love to have you on my show. I've been doing it. This is the 11th season of Family Spirit International. Been doing this for quite a while. Yep. And we use StreamYard.
This is my 9th year. So
wow. Oh, look at your kitty in the window. Oh, I love animals.
I also,
you wouldn't like that one.
We also have this one.
That's that's the one with an attitude.
Oh.
Yeah. This one here has decided just recently she has to be on my lap.
During shows.
Oh,
yeah.
You're her human then, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the other one the other one, Benjamin Bottoms. The one.
Yeah, this was our Benjamin Bottoms cat.
Oh.
The cat gets older, but it's younger.
Benjamin Buttons.
Yeah.
She's getting younger and younger. And I don't know how.
She looks like a kitten. She sure
I
does.
know. She's about
Look.
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love cats. I have a kitty cat bed and breakfast with my mom.
Oh,
We feed about 16 outside,
oh.
along with 3 raccoons and 2 possums.
I still
Yeah.
don't know what we have outside here. Only thing I've seen so far has been lizards and toads.
Deer. I know we got. No,
Lot
we
of
got
we
lots
deer.
got
of deer.
we got everything up here.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah? Well, where are you, Carl?
I'm in
Missouri?
northwest Missouri,
Okay, cool.
just north of Kansas City, about 55 miles.
And where is the Paranormal Pride? Where are you guys?
We relocated recently from south of Kansas City to north of Navarre Beach.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We got tired of the
Cold weather.
minus 27 in the wintertime.
Yeah, that's not even human weather, is it?
No,
and
we get that weather up here.
Mhm.
so this past winter, he started laughing at me because I was complaining about 27.
Oh, wow.
And
Compared
of course,
to
he
27.
also teases me about this.
Your sweaters.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're in
Oh.
Florida, and she's always got to have a sweater or a sweatshirt on,
Oh.
I'm cold.
which I don't blame her.
So
I love
It was-
Navarre Beach. It's so beautiful there.
I like that. Pensacola Beach is really nice too. It doesn't have I don't feel like Pensacola Beach and Navarre Beach are as spring breaky
Yeah, that's
as
right.
Yeah, they're more
everything
family.
else, east of here.
That's not better. I'll turn it back on. Okay.
So, but that's just
Yeah, more family
Yeah.
beaches.
Yeah, if you
So-
can make it over the sand dune, you're almost like the only people in the world sometimes out there.
yeah. I used to tease I sent videos from on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I said, here I am. I'm at the beach on New Year's Day, walking in the water.
Oh man, yeah, I
And-
remember that.
It is beautiful. We haven't had too many days where we've gone to the beach where I've turned around and said, we got to go home.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
But,
look at
yeah.
that one.
yeah,
I stole her chair. That's why I'm getting the evil eye.
that's,
Yeah.
that's the one that we were just talking about, our Benjamin Buttons cat.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yep.
Look how
50
precious.
Yeah, she's my cat. This is my cat. This is his cat. Apparently they both don't care as long as there's somebody they can sit on. So
And
How
that,
did
and they're
you
hearing
get
everybody's
started?
voices. So,
Yeah.
how did you get started in the paranormal?
Well, I was raised in a paranormal family. Had a great time kind of exploring with my family, my grandmother particularly. She was more along the lines of spiritual. My dad was a cryptozoologist, a herpetologist in Florida, and mammologist. He worked for Ross Allen's Reptile Institute in Silver Springs with the glass bottom boats. He did a lot of work with that. And then he had his own business where he traveled to schools at different colleges and he lectured about animals. So put it all together, and that's sort of me.
Oh, okay. And you wrote a book about being part of 4 generations of the paranormal.
I did. Yes. It's called Family Spirit, 4 Generations of the Supernatural. So it's basically what we did. My husband and I talked to my grandmother and my mother, and they talked about what my great grandmother did. And so what we did was we took some of the cases that they did, and Mama Jenny let me know what they captured. And then we went back with our equipment and our techniques and investigated the same places and then compared evidence.
And how did it turn out?
It was pretty interesting. Of course, there was a good spell between the original investigation and ours. Let's see. Oh, it's 60 years,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
60, 70 years. So some of these locations were not as active. They had become a little more dormant. But the evidence that we caught it was just as thought provoking, even though it was older. It was really an amazing thing to do, especially with they were using compasses and candles and things like that, and here we are using K2 meters and REM pods and things like that. So
very similar items.
there was a lot of messages that we received that were very similar too.
Do you think that if you go back more often, maybe that the activity would pick up because of familiarity?
I do think so. I think that absolutely, if they knew they had the spirits there, if they knew they had a voice and someone was coming regularly, I feel like they would come and talk to us more. But these people have been deceased by the time we got there, it was over 100 years. So, it takes a little bit to, and people don't go to the cemetery there anymore. It's just, it's sad. It's really sad, but someone is maintaining it because the grass is cut. But
so the question I have for you is, this is a question I ask a lot because I don't know. If anybody does know, it'd be great to find out. But do you think that it's possible that there's an expiration date on the spirits as to why they're not coming out to talk to you? Or it's just, hey, we're just scared. We don't know who in the hell you are.
I think that it's a matter of energy flow. If when the cemetery was most popular and people were still being buried there and there were funerals there were also lines over the top of it that would supply different, I guess it would be more like steam and generation type of electricity and whatnot to the foundry that was there not far from the cemetery. Well, the foundry's been shut down and torn down. So that energy's not there anymore. The neighborhood is an older neighborhood, so there's not a lot of children, not a lot of traffic. So I call it going dormant. But I feel like, if there was someone coming there regularly, someone was there to ask questions and in different consciousness, was able to pick up on the fact, wait a minute, there's somebody here to talk to me. Maybe they want to hear, or even if I said, hey, do you know so-and-so, that's, I think, your great niece or something like that, all of a sudden it would happen that, yes, I do remember, but there's so many different dimensions that spirits can go through. Sometimes I just wonder, are they in a place where they just can't hear us there? Because, spirits continue to grow.
Only true one was the fireman.
Mom.
Oh,
Mom's in the living room with me. She's working on a case here. So anyway, so what I was saying is that just like haunted objects, different locations can also become dormant, if there's not a lot of energy passing through it. And the many different dimensions, I think scientists have discovered 7 or 8, which means there's thousands, right? Yes. So it's one of those things where people continue to grow even in death, just like children that are deceased. They continue to grow. They may present themselves to you as a child so you can understand who they are, but that doesn't mean that they're a child. It means that, that's their way of communicating. I did a case not long ago about a woman who apparently committed suicide. She was waiting at the window of a hotel. The legend is that Hattie came in from the train depot and she was sitting outside of the hotel window, like sitting in the windowsill. And she was looking for someone. And when the person didn't show up, it was really horrible because she was expecting a baby. And they found her hanging in the stairwell the next day. Ooh. And so, what happened to her? I want to hear her story. A lot of people, how could she do that to the baby? Well, after the EVPs and then going into the case historically, Hattie Jackson fell in love with an Asian gentleman that was working on the railroad. And they kind of worked together on the railroad, and he didn't speak English, but she was teaching him. And they fell in love, but he could not get married. He was still working on being free, I guess you'd say. And he walked in the office, and there was a big scandal happening. Coal is something that you burn for a train. So therefore, you can't, there's a little bit of wiggle room on the inventory of it because sometimes it burns hotter than others. So you can't really determine how much you're going to use. Well, they were trying to stretch it out because they ended up putting some of the money in their pockets and had been for quite a while. And somebody had come to do inventory shortly after they got their supply in. And they were talking about, what are we going to do? How are we going to show that, show accountability for this? And the Chinaman came in and was doing something or other. And they said, he heard us. He heard us. And they said, he doesn't speak English. He's with Hattie. She's teaching him, I'm sure. So the plan was for her to leave without him and go to this hotel in a certain destination. And he said, if I will come behind you. And if I don't show, they got me. Well, her point was, if she had remained there, they would have found her. And the child would have obviously looked Oriental. With her, fair skin and red hair, you could tell the DNA would be, and she was afraid of what would happen to the child. So in her mind, because they were going to kill her, what would happen to the child? Would she be forced into prostitution? What would happen? So everybody, dying together was her solution. And, but they were there. I was trying to speak with Hattie first, and she talked to me. And I asked about the child, and she was afraid I was going to judge her, and she was pushing me away. And finally, the child spoke up, and it was crying like a baby. Couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. And I said, that sounded like Mandarin, and it was her fiance. He may not have made it in flesh, but he made it in spirit. And then I heard the child speaking, and then I heard the child speaking in Mandarin. So they were all there together. And they thought they were still in hiding. What they didn't know is the whole town's haunted. I said, come go with me and let me introduce you to people. So they did. And so every time I go to the town, she shows up with her child and her husband. I mean, they're like friends now, spirit friends. But they were dormant. And it took some persuasion because of the judgment. How would she look to me? She had to figure out that I was safe to talk to. And when she figured it out, there's a lot of healing on everybody's part, Yeah.
Is this a location that had been investigated much or just?
No, I sent the information to Jason and Grant back when they were doing Ghost Hunters, and Jason and Steve Gonzalez came and investigated. It's in my book. It's the Newberry Hotel in Newberry, South Carolina, and it's the Old Southern Hotel. It's the name of, I didn't want to use the name in the book. I thought it would be better to, but they've said it's okay to do that now. But yeah, Hattie something.
Then.
Yeah, we went to a bed and breakfast in Newberry, and all of a sudden Hattie showed up. And I said, Hattie, how did you know I was here? And she never answered me, but she was there and doing the investigation with us. So
Good night, Nigel.
Night, Nigel.
So basically it's, you're talking about the graveyard, you're talking about this hotel. So a lot of this is because there wasn't consistent energy in these places. There was just no way for them to feel like they could speak up.
Right.
That's kind of how it felt out there at the Muskogee Cemetery, the old Muskogee Cemetery in Cantonment. We just went to one that is in your area. You probably have the same kind of cemeteries. This real nice cemetery and this really crappy cemetery right behind it.
What you say, nice?
Well, yeah.
At least the Grass was mowed.
Yeah, the grass was mowed. There was holes, but you can tell that they're working on
Yeah, they're working on it.
restoration. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Florida started a big thing on restoring old cemeteries recently. Last year it went to the state, and the state's going, okay, we'll do it. So that's one good thing you can say about Florida, is that they've got the money, they're going to spend it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like good things.
So, well, there's a lot of good things, but paranormal wise, this is one of the things we can say. But the messed up cemetery was all people of color.
I understand.
And I mean, Native American burial ground was back in there.
I was going to say that was probably right there because the mulatto, I don't know if you know what that is. Do you know what? Okay. All right. So for those of you watching, there's Black cemeteries or colored or people of color, and then Native American indigenous people. And a lot of times there was a lot of marrying. And if you weren't white, you were mulatto. It was just a way of saying, you know, you got a different DNA batch and we're going to call you something else. That's
yep.
what.
And it didn't matter how white you were. You could be mulatto.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I had to hunt that word and hunt through all of that. I went through so many census records to get my information. So yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yeah. So this cemetery that we're talking about is just so badly upkept, but it's so overgrown and taken over by nature that there's no way that you could get. I mean, there were gravestones under fallen trees.
Oh.
But again, West Florida sent out a whole bunch of people out there to clean it up. And as soon as they clean it up, it'd be overgrown again.
Yeah, that's Florida.
Lots of brambles and, briars and all that good stuff. And not to mention the other things that slither and slimy all through there.
Yep.
Nobody wants. And we found out it was by a river. So there's some
there's a food source.
Oh yeah.
No. Some things I don't
other things with sharp teeth.
Yep.
Oh yeah. FS Traveler says, I'm going to stay at the Jerome Grand Hotel in Jerome, Arizona this July for my birthday.
All right.
It's notorious for being haunted, and I'm extremely susceptible to spirits. We've been invited there a few times from a friend of mine, but it's out of the way on our drive to Vegas. So hopefully,
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, hopefully you have a really good time. So he wants to know, how do you think I should go about getting ready for this weekend in Jerome?
I think, first of all, thank you for the question. It's a great one. And I can tell that this person is very knowledgeable about their own particular gifts. And that's very refreshing because, the person is in tune to their own feelings and abilities. A lot of people don't know. So congratulations on what you can do and what you can see. The word susceptible concerns me, though, because that tells me that you're concerned about something. Being susceptible means that you may fall victim to, in my mind, like being susceptible to having pneumonia or susceptible to allergies. So I want you to think about it real quick for me and tell me, what is your intention going there? Are you hoping to connect to a spirit? And if so, are you going to investigate and enjoy putting the history together? Or are you just wanting to have a little light experience? Because otherwise, I need to tell you how to shield and ground and how to protect yourself. And or I could tell you how to do some digging and some history so that you can look up the person that you may come in contact with. So just let me know a little more information and I'll send you in the right direction.
That town is really interesting, especially with the old hospital being there, and the bar in the hotel is supposedly really haunted, and they have a lot of haunted walking tours. So check out your Yelp reviews on those haunted tours before you go. That's if you go on a tour. Just saying. It might cover your butt.
Yeah, some of the tours may be embellished a bit. So, take a look at that too. Make sure if you really want an authentic experience. Okay, so yes, Gina is saying that she has tiger's eye for protection. That's right. Beautiful. Oh gosh, what's the tourmaline is good for that as well. Tiger's eye is great to prevent headaches also. But there's things that you can do yourself within your body, especially if you have spiritual abilities, so that you can have great experiences. Or if you don't want to have an experience, I can help you with that too. Did you know that if you eat olives, that it can stop psychic visions?
Well, I don't eat olives.
That's good, I guess.
I don't either. I'm allergic to them.
Oh no,
Are you?
black and green?
Yes.
Are you really?
It will cause me to stop breathing in my throat
Oh
completely.
no, that's not
Yep,
good.
anaphylaxis is an important symptom to
Yeah.
pay attention to.
Wow.
Absolutely. So you can't have olive oil either, can you, Carl?
No, it's so bad
Ooh.
that when we order a pizza from Casey's, they got our phone number up there. When we order, we usually order a Supreme from up there. They know that when that order comes in, it's got my name on it. They have to change all gloves. They can't use any other knives or any equipment on anything else but what's on our
Bless your
pizza.
heart, Carl. My
Wow.
They even
goodness.
had to get a new knife out to cut it.
Yeah, Gina says a
Uh-huh.
lot of meds, including statins, also mess with her sensitivities.
Isn't that
So-
something?
Yeah.
Well, eat lean and green. That helps a lot. It helps with your pineal gland. And also, I have a friend that takes tiger's eye and puts it in a spray bottle and does, like either holy water or spray bottle or salt water, that kind of thing, and uses it as a spray. So she'll spray her area to clear it before she goes to sleep because she doesn't want to have dreams.
So FS Traveler Supporter says, I'm meeting up with my sister from Denver who does ghost hunting extracurricularly. See, I can say it. Carl, you say it. I dare you. We
Forget it.
want to visit because she and her husband are huge horror fans and he doesn't eat olives either.
Okay, so heck with the olives. So all right, so the best thing to do, if you want to have a little experience but you want to be in control, I get it. So the way that you can ground, so that if you're going to have a spiritual experience, oh, he's back again.
My thing is, I have unexpected experiences and I refuse to stay on an Indian reservation and I travel a lot by car.
Okay. The easiest thing to do if you want to have a spiritual experience, go outside barefoot. And this is just as easy as flushing the toilet. Let me say it that way. I'm trying to make it simple. Take all the negativity in your body and just push it slowly down into the ground through your feet, because the earth is a great neutralizer. That's why we call it Mother Earth. It's where all of us come from. And it can take all the negative energies because it has the positive energies too. And that's what you pull back into you. And now you're centered and you're calm. And it's a type of meditation, really, but it is getting rid of, you can control your energy in your own thoughts and in your own intentions. Now, after that, if you start to feel something and it may be too much, like I was talking about with the tiger's eye spray that my friend does, and she swears by it. I've never tried it, but what I think is fun, and it works very well, is to take a candle and light it. I have a candle right here beside me. Let me do an illustration, okay? This isn't a special candle, but it smells great. It's apple orchard, something to do with pumpkin too. So it's my favorite time of the year. So as you can see,
And it must be green.
so you can see the wow, look at that. That's crazy looking. Okay. So the light, you can see, especially in the dark, how the light reaches out to a certain area. Okay. Being able to see the light project all the way out, you can ask God, your God, creator, whatever you call your creator, okay? Because not everybody's the same. So I asked the great creator to cover me in this white light, and where the light stops and the darkness starts is where the shield will go. And you could say in your head, I want that to be a mirror. I want that to be like nails sticking out so that nothing can get near me. I would like for it to be solid, like stone or something like that. And you can change your energy outside of your body, because where does your spirit stop? Your spirit is not limited to your skin. So take that and push it out, and a spirit won't even see you if you turn it mirror. And it's a lot of fun to practice that. I'll never forget the first time I taught my daughter to do that. She was really nervous, and we were in a place, and she's like, no, I want to go to sleep. And I said, okay, well, we had a spirit talking to us the whole time, and he was just like right up in her face. He was not a pleasant, I'm sure he was, I'm just going to say it, he was an asshole in life. So I'm sure he was just being the same in death, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
and so she's like, I'm going to sleep. You can deal with this guy. She said, well, what if he follows me in there? And I said, push your energy out and turn it into a mirror. I said, do it right now before, you leave. And she called the guy over there to her, and he was rah, 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 rah. The K2 meter was right here, and it was going off and stuff like he was barking in her face. And I said, shield quick. If you have to clap your hands, do like that, and it'll tell you to throw your shield. He could not see her. You should have heard the ghost box. He was cussing like crazy. Where did you go? Where did you go? And I said, see, that's how it works. I'll keep him busy in here. Go in there and go to sleep. And so that's how it worked. Knowing that you can control your energy is such a big step, and it takes practice. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to do. And you can also remember, now you're pulling energy from your creator. You're not giving your own. Never, ever protect your energy, of course, always. Never tell a spirit, take my energy. If you're able to give creator's energy, that's great, but don't make yourself sick by trying to give yours.
I agree 100%. I hate when I'm on an investigation and somebody says, use our energy. No, I don't have enough of my own. I'm too damn tired.
Yeah, well,
I'm already running on deficit.
Thank you. I'm running on caffeine, honey.
I can't even run on that. So, but it's one of those things that
they got to be careful what they ask. It is so
irresponsible to do that.
Yes, and it's a great way to get an attachment, because if they're connected to you through your energy, which is a lot like a juice box, you're not a human juice box, right? They can easily connect to you and develop a parasitic dependence on you. You don't ever want that. And let's see what else.
So here he says,
in Holbrook,
my last experience in Holbrook, Arizona, which we've stayed there multiple times.
Oh yeah.
I had a native lady wake me up and tell me I needed to go get up and get my son. She helped me to my knees in the bed before I could realize what was happening. How do I protect myself when I'm asleep?
Okay, I want to know if you have any spirit guides, because see, if you have any Native American in you at all, Indigenous people believe that 7 generations need to stay behind to look after their ancestors. So when you hear Indigenous people say, I'm going to make my ancestors proud, they mean the ancestors are on the sidelines cheering them on, and they want to literally make them proud. So if she came to you, okay, good. Thank you for writing it down. And listen, reach out to me if you need me, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll be glad to message you back and tell you. I mean, I can actually shield you from here if you need me to. But I do use spirit guides, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to sleep. Can you keep them, keep them at bay? And I have one in particular, spirit guide. She's very, very lovely. I actually met her you were just talking about an Indian burial ground. I met her there, and somebody had been messing around in her grave, and I decided to do like a funeral prayer.
That's a different kind of Indigenous person.
It
is
Irish
American.
Irish American.
It's great though. I'm part Irish American.
Yeah, that's wonderful. My son-in-law's Irish American, and he's got the most beautiful eyes, the kind of that greenish blue eyes. Oh, he's a handsome young man. I'm so proud for my daughter. And they got the most beautiful little girls. So
Of
they
course.
and they look Irish, but then a little bit, the olive complexion, with the indigenous. And I said, that's just the way it is. Not there's no such thing as a full-blooded anything anymore. Thank goodness. You know.
Well, we're all full-blooded humans.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I do have a question for Bill of Rights. Okay. By the way, thank you for supporting the Bill of Rights, being a supporter of our American institution. And that's you, Carl?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're on the Bill of Rights Network.
Oh,
so,
well,
so
ding.
FS Traveler.
Ding.
So we're live on Rumble right now, but we
Uh-huh.
don't have comments hooked up. But FS Traveler Supporter is the person who's been sending you these
Right.
messages from Rumble, and Carl's been
Oh,
copying
thank
them
you.
over so that we
Yeah, I
can
copy
answer
them
his
over
questions.
and put them
well,
up on the
bless
Bill of
you.
Rights.
Well, thank you for that. Okay.
He's asking a lot of questions. So
Yes, I'm happy to
Yeah,
answer.
he has been over here.
Oh.
He's typing real good, and we thank you for on Rumble.
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, well, here's the thing. Just because you are in the flesh now as an Irish American does not mean that your soul was never indigenous. Now, I don't know how you feel about reincarnation, but I can tell you a bit, just a little bit, just make you think a little bit. If energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changed, how do you know that part of your energy, which should be quite a bit, was never part indigenous? If you have abilities, and we all know that everybody has some ability, whether they embrace it or not. Humans are the only one that doesn't follow their own from God, our own instinct.
Yeah, we don't follow our guts at all.
No, we don't. So,
And they should.
Yep. I think that protecting yourself when you sleep could be just as easy as a prayer. I actually have an Irish prayer in my book, and I've got a wooden chest that I carry my book around. If you don't mind, can I send it to you after the show, and then we can send it over to him? I think that a nice Irish blessing would be just right.
Okay.
And if somebody has something to say after you wake up, then they can take a number, talk to sister or whatever. But they shouldn't push themselves on him like that. No, nobody wants that. So
yeah, some people have told me, at one point in time I had trouble turning off Spirit Talk.
yes,
and not Spirit Talk Radio. But it got to where it was feeling like that, to be honest.
I understand.
And somebody told me, put on a hat, because for some people the thing of putting on a hat was the way to stop.
Mhm.
It was a signal to the spirits to say, I'm not ready to talk.
Mhm.
I've just learned how just to tell them, I'm sleeping, leave me alone. You want to talk to me tomorrow between this time and this time, and we'll have a long conversation. But we don't need to talk when I'm sleeping. I need that sleep more than I need to talk to you.
Mhm.
And maybe that's the way you need to do it, is
Mhm.
just tell them, not now. Later's
Yeah.
fine, just not now.
And I know some people that use a salt circle, and that does keep away negative. But what if there's somebody that's not negative, that is just antsy and wants to talk? You're just going to have to tell them, back up. So my name is Leitreanna Terry-Brown on Facebook. I don't have any more friends. Like I can't add anymore. But if you follow me, you should be able to send me a message, and I'll pop it right to you. That Irish blessing. I've got quite a few. I'm getting my PhD in philosophy, so I'm having to study nearly every major religion. And the book that I'm studying right now is literally 6 inches thick with small writing. There's so many different religions in the world right now.
And
So
isn't it strange how when you're looking at them, how so many of them are so similar in their beginnings?
Denise, you're 100%. Absolutely.
I studied Joseph Campbell.
Oh yeah.
So, and the hero, there's always a hero in every religion.
Right.
It doesn't matter how you go about it. You can look at Star Wars and see the Bible if you're looking.
You are absolutely right. I've actually brought that parallel to my husband's attention. He's a big Star Wars fan, and The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe, Star Wars, Harry Potter.
Every true story has something that's going to go back to creation or revelations or there. I don't know my Bible very well, but the things that I do know, I learned from the information that Joseph Campbell put in his books. And, I learned about probably 100 different religions just through him. And a lot of that stuff is out there on YouTube nowadays. And I mean, he's been dead for quite a while, but if you watch Unexplained,
Yes.
Unexplained, they bring up the guy from the Joseph Campbell Institute every single time.
They do.
And every time he has something to say, it's like, I could probably go over to my book and open it up and go, look, this is what he says. It's, if you really want to learn about not you yourself, but out there, check out some Joseph Campbell books and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yes.
For me, it was an honors class in college. So
Say it was.
needless to say, I had to learn it, but he's a teacher is what he is.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
See, he was even in the house with me. Is when I graduated from Longview.
He was one of your teachers?
No, he wasn't. It was one of the classes that Kathy taught.
I don't know. I wasn't in your class.
So, but yeah, you saw the books all over the house probably.
No, I didn't. I guess I didn't pay that much attention.
He's like a
not.
theologist type thing, He has lots of theories and he has his own institute that follows those. But there's a lot of threads of similarity with every religion, because spirituality is really what we're looking for. And so our friend is back. He's saying that I do feel like they come to me for a reason, but I can't keep my wits about me long enough to listen. I'll just follow it and I'll send a message soon. Great. Well, when you have the feeling, okay, that a spirit has come to you for a reason, do not feel like you are defenseless. Because, like I said, your soul does not stop at the end of your skin. It goes way past that. If I had my dowsing rods and you were in front of me, I could show you where your energy stops. So do not feel like you, first of all, if you are a religious person, ways of being able to, through religious provocation, to prevent anything from bothering you.
Right.
So try to hang on to that. The next thing is that if they are in the same dimension as you, they should share a similar interest and a certain amount of knowledge. And if they just want to tell the story, if a ghost just wants to let you know who they are, like this lady here, sounds to me like she was trying to find, she was trying to warn you about something. So do what you can to explain to them a way that you can communicate that doesn't frighten you. That's a big thing. Because if you're saying something about keep your wits about you, that means something has really disturbed you.
Well, you said something that I know just interested Carl.
And me.
And probably Gary, too.
Gary.
So
I was going to ask
the dowsing
question.
rod,
Go ahead.
you can check somebody's energy.
So
yes.
Right.
So what you do,
just explain, please.
Yeah. Okay, so here you go. This is what you do. I'm going to get the sofa's eating me. Hold on. Let me get straight. All right. So you
know we
take
can
your
find unmarked graves with them.
Yes, you can.
Yep.
Yes, you can. You can find a good deal of things. Really? I would love to see some videos.
Yeah, twice now.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so take the dowsing rods and point it towards your husband there and just say, show me your energy. And it should be able to show me how far out is your aura, and it should move And then if you can close yourself after she's finished with this one, then say, show me your energy, and it will show closed. And that's the first step of shielding.
Okay. I kind of know what you're saying, because what we do is when we find people, and I know a couple people, we call them grounded.
Oh,
They're not
yes.
full of
Yeah.
energy, where you walk up and the dowsing rods don't move at all. If a person has energy and you walk up, they will cross right as
Yes.
you get to them. You don't, yeah, the same line of thinking
Same.
there. And,
Yes.
yeah,
My
we've
grandmother
done that.
taught me this years ago. So we're on the same level, Carl. I
We had
get
a
it.
friend. We had a friend in our church. Everybody could use the dowsing rods, but him. And I'd walk up to him, they'd be dead. Gary'd walk up. But now you want to show people how energy works. Try this if you've ever tried this. If you're up to a person where they do not move, you have an energy person walk behind them and put their hand on their shoulder. They will cross.
Isn't that something? Oh,
Say
wow.
that
That's
again.
Well, it's
crazy.
grounding. I mean, it's the same as
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
You know,
Yeah.
so like when you're holding something, like I have a cardio mobile thing, okay,
Okay.
for my heart, and it looks like a card. Okay,
Yeah.
just looks like a card. You don't see any place where you can put in batteries or anything like that, but it takes a professional level EKG when I hold it. So
Oh.
me holding this
Oh,
thing,
yes. And it does the right.
but yet you can't. There's there's nothing in it that you can see that would be doing this. Plastic and metal, but and there's a battery inside of it, but the battery charges when I'm holding it,
Isn't that something?
and it reads out to my phone, so there's a Wi-Fi chip in there. But other than that, I don't know how I've had it for a year and a half now, never had to charge it or anything, so it has to be when I'm holding it, I'm
Mhm.
charging it. You know, remember when we were in like elementary school and we made potato batteries
I was thinking about
or
that.
tomato batteries, even, where you plug this in and this in and it lights up. That's grounding. So it's basically very similar, but
It is.
I thought that's where you were going with this. Because,
Exactly.
like Carl said, we've witnessed it. We had people that would come to the Sally house and they'd go, "This is fake. These rods are fake. They don't work." And then you'd hand them to a 15-year-old kid and they work just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're old and sour or salty now.
Yeah.
This kid's open.
Yeah. You got to let your energy flow through it. It's basically, they're like cat's whiskers if you think about it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
We use dowsing rods all the time, ask questions for the yes and no's. We can even use them to count how many spirits are around you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like I said, we find graves and it tells us how deep that grave is by asking it the right question.
That's insane. And I'm so happy to hear that I've met some fellow
Dowsers.
dowsers. Yes, I actually used them to do a lay line around somewhere. Oh, our friend that was in on the Rumble that was asking me about what to do to protect himself while he slept. You can take dowsing rods, and you can find, when they start to cross where it's grounded, and you could put a crystal there or a non-penny nail or something like that, and then do it and make a box for yourself.
Or you could also use a cup of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't even think about that. But the idea is the energy will flow through it, and now you've got a tripwire that they won't cross.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying that is because if he's in a hotel, it's quite possible you can't use a candle for some of the things that you've said.
Right.
And you're going to have plastic cups, and water is going to be there in case you can't pack all this stuff with you. Here's a simple solution. And if you're smart, you bring a little salt from the restaurant and dip it in the water. There you go. You're done.
Good to go.
Yeah. Just don't bring olive oil from the restaurant.
No.
Because, holy oil is a thing too that works for some people. And I'm going to assume, I know that on the Irish side of my family, we're very religious. On the Native American side of my family, we're very spiritual. So we've got all that going on. And then on the German side, they just want to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We're going to do that. I hope you have a fantastic trip. And,
yes, and please come back next week and tell us how it is.
Right.
Or the week
Yeah.
after that. Let us know, because that's on a bucket list of ours to go to Jerome.
Yep.
that'll be a fun trip.
And Bisbee.
Yeah.
I want to go to Bisbee.
Yeah, the dowsing rods, like we was talking about, they're actually the old time metal finders.
Yes.
That we have, the new electronic ones and everything, because you can find just about anything with dowsing rods. I have found lost keys in the house.
I found lost keys.
We mainly use it for water lines and electrical lines in our construction business.
Okay. Well, I use them to find my glasses, my keys, my cell phone.
There is one thing you can't use them for.
What's
You
that?
cannot use them to find a missing dowsing rod. You have to leave that up to the gardener at the cemetery. He found it around.
Chews you out when it runs over and it goes ding.
Yeah.
I tried. I mean, we tried
And
really
another
hard.
good thing for the dowsing rods is if you're at an old cemetery and it has new and old stones on them, use your dowsing rods and walk up to the new ones that may have granite in it or something like that, and see if that stone is positive or negative energy coming out of it. The older stones are usually limestone.
Right.
So they should cross automatically when you get up to them.
Isn't that something? Limestone is a great conductor, and it really does keep energy in. It encapsulates it. And people don't realize.
We have all kinds of limestone up in here, this area.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Thank you, Gina.
All we have here is sand.
Yeah, a lot of it too.
But
yeah,
it is a lot of
put
it
a
is
rod
quartz.
out there and let lightning hit it, and you'll have glass.
And now you've got art.
The thing is because all this stuff runs down from Leitreanna's mountains, they run down here, and that's the reason why we have white sand beaches, is from all the quartz and stuff in the mountains there.
That's very true.
That's probably why I feel so great at the beach and energized.
Yep. Between that and the vitamin D from the sun and the salt air cleansing. I mean, it's a wonderful way to cleanse.
For him, it's the bikinis, but
Hadn't even noticed.
When you go out on an investigation, do you do residential investigation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's all I did for years and years.
Do you take any other equipment besides yourself?
It depends. It really depends, because if I have some of my students with me, I'll take a lot of other pieces of equipment for confirmation. But,
right.
Oh, something fun, back to the dowsing rods. When I would do my medicine wheel and I start to do energy work in it, if you use dowsing rods on a medicine wheel, you can see it pulse like this, because your dowsing rods will bounce in and out like that. It's really cool.
Can you explain what a medicine wheel is to people who don't know?
Yes. A medicine wheel, basically, I have to tune it based off what is east. And it symbolizes so many things. First, it's the elements of the earth, wind, fire, water. It also is connected with the number 7 is very sacred in Cherokee spirituality. There's 7 clans of the Cherokee. They look at 7 directions, even seasons that can be considered 7 different seasons. So it's very sacred. So I do a 7-point medicine wheel, and east is the way I have it tuned. And I put my most powerful crystal, depending on what I'm doing the medicine wheel for, as to what crystal I use. I have several pieces that are pretty powerful. And then I tune the rest. And I do use water to help me tune it properly. And then after that, the prayer is to call the different elements of the earth. And in a Christian standpoint, this would be praying through the angels of thrones, because the angels of thrones are the ones that control all of nature. They control, storms, lightning, everything, that rainbows, you name it. They're called the thrones of angels. You should look that up. There's lots of different kinds of angels. There's even angels that cannot go straight to God. They have to go through another type of angel to even pray to him. So we really should look at ourselves as very, very fortunate that we, don't have to follow suit in that manner. So I usually call the earth, wind, fire, water first, and then I do the 7 directions. And then whatever it is I've called them for, like if it's for an investigation, the blessing and prayer would be to be able to see through the different dimensions that are near us, to bring about healing and love, and to understand what has been and what can be, and to make friends interdimensionally as well as friends that are there, in flesh. And if it's acceptable to these thrones of angels, or to the Great Spirit is how I pray, then doors will be opened. And usually that means that whatever may be spiritual there has more energy and can communicate directly with you. And I had one that was so pure. It was what an honor it was to be able to communicate. But we actually had angels popping in on our EVP, those ghost boxes and the different things, the ovulus and whatnot. And they would talk about who they were and what they were there for. And it lined up directly with the Bible. And we're getting them in all rooms of the bed and breakfast. It was crazy. So, if you look at it from an indigenous standpoint, it's not something that is typically Christian. It can't be related to Christianity. But if you look at it from both eyes, because see, I'm going to go on a theology thing. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to do it very long. But see, the Cherokee prophesied there would be a Messiah. So when they heard about Christ and how he lived and died, they knew that he was the Messiah. So it was very, very easy for Cherokee to become Christian. Cherokee Christian.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful, the blessings that are part of it, the grieving that happened after is a beautiful thing. But then everything started getting messed up when children had to go off to the different boarding schools and started becoming missing, and, the Trail of Tears and all of that got in the way of it all. And there's so many people that were killed on both sides of it. So, the negative stuff had to, try to take over, of course, but there's still so much beauty. So, so that's what a medicine wheel is. It's a sort of like doing the rosary, because you're acknowledging each step of Christ, of how he was prophesied and how all of that lined up, and then the miracles that he did when he was on earth, and then after he passed, and then coming back. Each one of those, you're reminding yourself, well, this is the same. Acknowledging that only our Creator could make something so wonderful as us, and of the earth, and of the universe, and the stars, and where we come from, and how we fit into it. You can't do a medicine wheel if you don't have the proper blessing. It won't work.
Right.
I understand.
You'd have something else, all right, if you had a bad intention. That's some conjuring.
It's kind of similar to, it could draw in the same stuff that people are drawing in when they don't know what they're doing with other divination devices.
Correct.
Period. I'm not going to say Ouija board over dowsing rods over. It's all intent, or intention, not just intent. Because sometimes when you say intent, people don't really understand what that means. But you say the word intention, and then they understand. But
Right.
we have a question. Oh, and to give you a heads up, my family was on the Trail of Tears.
Oh.
And I have a long story about that one. So we're not going to get into that, but my family was on there. So I understand. I don't want to say plight, but the journey of the Cherokee because of that. And the reason I say journey is because everything happens for a reason. It's not up to me to try to figure it out. As bad as it was is also as good as it can get. You know, it can get really bad, but it can be really good. And that depends on the person.
Yeah.
So, and it's just so bad that they didn't have any rights that they deserved. And that's my soapbox.
You're right. I get it too. But, you know, back then life was hard for everybody.
And, yeah. And when they talk about slavery, I get upset because the first slaves in this country were Native Americans and Irish.
That's right.
And
a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Yeah. They don't. And maybe
people don't want to know real history.
People don't want to know that.
Exactly.
Yep. And here's another thing. A lot of people that were sold into slavery were sold into it by their own people.
Right.
Yes. Whether it's Irish, Indian, or African American.
Well, look at that. Look at the Asian guy I was just telling you about with the railroad. Yeah. How did he get there? What did he do to get in? He was
probably Shanghai.
Exactly.
I mean, that's where it came from.
It is. Absolutely.
So, and you know, all of that, as bad things have to happen for things to become good. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. So, but Gina asks, how do you feel about bringing animals with you for protection spiritually, like a dog?
Well, are you talking, I'm assuming she's talking about a dog in the flesh. I do carry spirit animals with me, but as far as a dog, I had a ghost investigation. It's a residential case that went, it surprised me. It shocked me really bad. The lady that called me there believed that she was being oppressed by demons. And it wasn't until I got there that I found out she was actually in a satanic church. Wow. And yeah, cool. She was born in the satanic church. Members of the church elected a man and a woman for their knowledge and the way they looked and their talents. And they, through some ceremony, you know, got pregnant. Okay. And then the child was taken on a certain day. There was a doctor that was in the group. And so she was taken and she was raised to be a red witch. And I'm just telling you what she told me. I think that a lot of things, people, demonic worshipers, you know, there's a lot of ways to look at that. Some people are Luciferian, some people are satanic, but it seems to have its own spin in every church that you may run upon that claim to be demonic or satanic, I should say. But so they did her particular church did regular animal sacrifices. And the sacrifice was bloodletting more than it was killing. And so she called me there to try to, I had to learn quick to figure out what was going on around me. Her little dog, little tiny thing, was just all over me. She was just wanting love so bad. And we're sitting in like a circle, and we're all sitting on the floor with the carpet with our legs folded, sort of, you know, folded Indian style, I guess you'd say. And we were just sitting there with our equipment, and I was trying to get a reading, and I was letting everybody else kind of, this was supposed to have been a residential case, and we were doing a preliminary. And the little dog came over to me, and I'd just given it a little kiss on its forehead, and it stepped away, and I heard something that sounded like a twig break. And the dog's leg was broken, and it was just swinging. It was that badly broken, and it was by an unseen hand. And she had used this little dog for bloodletting so much, and this entity felt challenged by us that much. That was a warning to me to get out. I won't take an animal into a location anymore, not after what happened to me. So that's a nasty story to tell. But I do have a dog. This is Ginger. This is Ginger. She was asleep beside me. And Luna, she can see spirits. Luna can. She's a French bulldog. And
We don't know
but
if
here
our
she
cats can
can.
see anything
So-
beyond their closed eyelids.
I
So
take them
that
to
woman-
parties. I take them to
woman-
parties and stuff, but not.
I
That
think
woman that
most
called
dogs
you
can
in,
see or
what
hear
did
'em
she
all the
what'd she
time.
call you for?
Well, she said she had made a break from the church, and
Okay. So
and
she was up front with you
yeah.
about all this
Well,
stuff?
it took
Not
a
at
couple.
first.
Not at first. At
Right.
first, she was asking me things. What did you see when you were on your way over?
Yeah.
What do you feel when you're here? This is what's happening. Are you going to be able to help me? And at first, I wasn't sure if I was going to, because I had deliberately drawn myself a line in the sand. You know, I will find somebody that can help you. And that's how I found the demonologist that I use so much. He's wonderful. He's a military police. He's an MP in the Air Force, and his name is Leon Wilkes, and he's a real deal. And I also work with Jeff Leeper and Bill Bean. But she explained to me how she felt like her whole being was meant to serve this church. That, you know, she was created in the church, taken by, you know, by church members, taken by the, you know, whoever the doctor was or however that went. I still hadn't gotten to the bottom of that. And I said, but let me tell you something. You may have been brought here by the choices that the church made, but you are beautifully and wonderfully made. They may have chosen the ability to give birth as a method of worshiping or ceremonial, whatever's that they did, but you belong to you, and your decisions are yours, and God's what made you, and you have to choose your actions, and that's how you will be intermingled within this world, because your overall energy, if you don't fight this, will be negative unless you choose to be positive, and you're going to have to make choice. And she said, well, my knee-jerk reaction to everything is to go back to what I've been taught my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, look, what you've been taught is the trick. What you've been taught, that's your cross to bear, because what you were taught as a child is not what you should live your life by. So your knee-jerk reaction, that's why it says in the Bible to raise a child in the way he or she shall go, because as they grow older, they will not tarry from it. And I feel like it's like that with nearly every religion. You go back to what you know. And
Yeah.
so I told her, you know, you're going to have to make very deliberate choices about your life moving forward. Look at yourself almost as if you're an addict.
That's
You know?
that's
No way.
truly what Gina, if you happen to meet Farrah Rose, you'll hear basically a lot of the same things, but from the Catholic standpoint. And all of this lines up almost exactly with what she said. But one of the things that you find is that, you know, they always say, you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's kind of how your client was
Yeah.
thinking.
Absolutely.
Right.
And there's always a chance for change, no matter how old you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was saying, well, my husband's cheating on me. This was my knee-jerk reaction. Just found out I'm pregnant and I'm having problems with the pregnancy. This was my knee-jerk reaction. And I said, so is it the problems that's causing your knee-jerk reaction, or is your knee-jerk reaction causing the problems? Because, you know, you are going to reap what you sow. And I don't see anything wonderful happening from an animal losing blood. That's just not it.
No.
It's up here, you know? And I said, are you earning it? Are you even earning the sacrifices of the food you eat? Are you showing gratitude? And then we started this whole thing about gratitude. I said, I want you to show gratitude for everything good in your life and find ways to show gratitude. Wake up thanking God for the, you know, because she said she was Christian, but she would just have these relapses, you know? And the truth of it was, she said that she felt like she had some spiritual gifts, and she felt like if she didn't continue to do the things that she was taught to do, that she would lose that ability. And she felt like the devil's the one that gave her that spiritual gift. And I said, well, what a terrible price to pay for something that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, and so Leon had to go through step by step with her, you know, this is how you got to this place you are in life, and this is what you're going to have to turn from. And I said, this is just like a wedding. This is just like a marriage right now. You know, and oh Lord, the things I was seeing, I can tell you have some spiritual gifts, but I was seeing all kinds of horrible things. And, you know, that were going to happen to me, that was going to happen to the people that were there. And it was just like trying to hold me emotional hostage, because my job was just to tell him whenever the spirits were gone.
So Gary asks a question: can the dowsing rods lie to you? And I have a very specific opinion on that.
I don't know that the dowsing rods can lie to you, but I can tell you that people can misread them. And you can also make a positive or a negative just by breathing. You know, if you put them real close to your chest like this and you take a breath like that, they'll go out. So, you know, if you're doing it wrong, then yeah.
Well, it depends on the spirit. If the spirit is the one that's controlling the dowsing rods, the spirits lie, they could lie.
Yeah, that's true too.
You have to ask the questions, I believe, in a certain way to where they can't lie. You have to maybe ask the same question 2 different ways, you know, where it's confusing to the spirit, maybe, you know, to where they can't lie to you. But the thing is there's no way of telling for sure if they're lying to you unless you know who you're talking to.
Isn't that the truth?
And then you can't always be sure of that either, even if you see spirits, because sometimes they show you what they want you to see, not who they truly are.
Mm-hmm.
So I
say put yourself in a position where it doesn't matter if they're lying to you. What they say is not so important as to the fact that they said something, because you're still trying to get that evidence, and you're still trying to have that experience. Personal experiences and evidence. That's why anybody does this. So if you're dowsing rods, if you feel like they're lying to you, they're lying to you. Trust your gut instinct. And if you feel afraid at any time, when in doubt, get out. Don't push yourself.
Right.
And as far as the dowsing rods, if you feel like something's amiss, then what are you entertaining? The best thing to do is just cut contact and be sure to close your spirit rods, and you know, let them know they're not to follow you. And don't forget. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so how do you tell someone how to close a dowsing rod session?
Mm-hmm. Well, you just say, okay, show me the spirits. I'm closing communication. Show me that we are closed. And then they close. And the idea is to make sure that nothing's still trying to communicate, you know, to you. I don't mind it, but like you said, after a while and everything's in your head trying to talk to you at the same time, it gets to be, now you've got insomnia, now you've got anxiety and things like that. It's better just to say, okay, we're done talking today. I may come back and see you another time. Thank you for speaking with me. You know, we honor and appreciate our friendship with you. Okay, dowsing rods, close communication, and they will.
Gina
and the
says,
idea is it just closes.
Yeah. Gina says, I don't believe psychic abilities come from evil. The creator made us and we all have abilities. Just most people close it off due to being taught it's not real or from personal fears.
100%, Gina. And that was the message that I had to get across to this young lady. She thought that she didn't have anything. And the only way for her to keep what she felt she did have was because of, you know, she had to keep her relationship with evil, because evil does have power. Evil does give abilities, just like positive. Okay. We're talking about Jedi versus Sith here. Okay. Just trying to be a little silly, but that's the truth. You can get it either way. And psychic abilities are not evil. They're not evil. They're given to those that need it. My grandmother always taught me that people that had hardships in life were the ones that developed their psychic abilities first. And I didn't want to believe that, but I'm beginning to think so. I really do, because I mean, it's sort of like if someone's blind, they develop a very strong ability to hear or to smell. I saw this one documentary of a young man that was blind at birth, and he did a clicking sound with his mouth, and it was like a sonar, like a bat uses, and he could walk anywhere. He didn't have to know the lay of the land. He did use this little a guiding stick, I guess is what you call it. But yeah, he found a way around it, and I do believe that people that need that extra spiritual advantage in life, maybe they develop it for that reason. But you have to learn. Absolutely. That's right. Evil just uses a person to direct the energies to do bad things. Well,
Right.
now we're like Dumbledore. He said, no, it wasn't. It wasn't Dumbledore. It was, what was his name? The bad guy. Voldemort. He said there is no such thing as good and evil, only energy and those afraid to use it. And see, there's a little bit of truth in that too. The energy can be used, but what is the intention?
Right.
Just like you've been saying earlier, through the whole time we've been talking, Denise and Carl, you too. We just have to really recognize and stand by what our intention is. And we need to say that about anything. What is our intention at work? What is our intention with our spouse? What's our intention with, how we view our neighbors, being in a tribe? Whether you realize it or not, you're in a tribe. The people that are around you, you guys are in your own tribe, even though it's stretched from here to there, and keep your intentions golden.
But yeah, I'll tell you, I have a friend who at one time in his life, well, I have two friends actually that did this. They basically sold their soul to the devil and fought it back from him and changed their lives completely.
Wow, what a story to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, it's a great story to read. The one guy's story is excellent. And the other guy, he talks about it so well. And he became a rabbi. Okay.
Oh, wow.
One of them became a rabbi, the other a deacon in his church.
If you didn't know their story and you just hung out with, you would never have guessed it. I mean, no way.
Well, thank goodness they don't have any like residual energy funk to overcome.
Yeah, their stories are just so amazing to me because of the fact that could have caused a generational curse to go on and on and on. And more than likely, the one I knew didn't have a generational curse before. The other one, I'm not 100% sure, but the one, it all started with him and it ended with him. So it's a huge story. If you ever want to read it, I'll tell you what the name of the book is.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'll send it to you. And it's out of print, but I have a PDF copy.
Oh, look at that. I love it. I'm a great big nerd. Big nerd.
Oh,
so I love it.
I love these stories that people tell.
Yeah,
and so it's amazing. And yeah, Susan, you can, like I said, the one is out of print and the other, I don't know if his book was like this thick, and I don't know if it ever really fully got finished, but he lives over in Orlando. So I'm hoping at some point to go that way. I mean, it is a day's drive over there. I mean, Florida's a huge state when you got to drive around.
It is.
And I've never made it.
Drive to Orlando.
I don't know how far it is. It is for me. It's a day's drive for me. For him, it's not.
Miami, maybe.
But I've never been to your state. I mean, I drove across the state line and back over by Virginia Beach, but that was it.
I've been to North Carolina.
And the company I work for is out of North Carolina.
Okay. I'm in South Carolina, which is
my daughter's there now.
Oh, okay.
You
Where is
told
she?
me North Carolina.
Yeah, I did say North Carolina.
And
That's
Brandon?
Cooper, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Brandon
Oh.
Cooper, he's a nut. He's so much
Yep.
fun.
He's
He lives
great.
in South Carolina. We're not far from each other.
Right.
He lives between South Carolina and North Carolina in the Pickens 6 Mile
Yep.
area.
Yeah,
And
that's where my daughter's at right now, is in Pickens.
Oh,
Our son-in-law's family lives there in Pickens.
it's a really pretty area. And that boy, talk about haunted. Oh my goodness. We're actually doing a ghost hunt in 6 Mile, not far from where Brandon is. I mean, not far at all. And it's at the Lake Kiowee area. And there's Cemetery Island on Lake Kiowee where I think it was 28 different indigenous elders were buried. There was a problem. Some officer was killed, and it was, if you kill any of our officers, I'm going to kill 40 of you indigenous people. Well, there was a lot of people killed. And then, there was talk of a peace summit. Come to our peace summit, and we're going to, break bread together and talk about this and try to bring peace. Well, after they had dinner, they strung them all up and hung them and took them out on the island and buried them.
Wow.
Betrayal, big time. And there's actually a cabin right there. And my husband and I tried to have our 25th wedding anniversary at one of these cabins that we rented. And instead, somebody opened the front door to the patio, opened the door to the cabin, walked in. We heard stomp, 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 stomp. And we, came running in there. Nobody there. We heard someone walking on the roof of the cabin. All kinds of stuff was just going crazy. And I thought, well, so much for our 25th wedding anniversary. We got the ghost hunting stuff out of the trunk of the car. And so now I'm taking the class there, but this is going to be a ghost hunt open to the public. So it's going to be fun.
Make sure that you share that information out there, and we'll share it out.
Well, thank you.
Because I know sometimes in that area with the South, let's just go with the South. Sometimes paranormal is deeply frowned upon, and by others, it's highly embraced.
Right.
And there's really not an in between.
Yep. It's definitely going to get a response one way or the other. I'm doing a ghost hunt at the Carriage House Inn in Aiken, South Carolina, on the 11th, and then the 20th of May the 11th, and then May the 25th is the 6 Mile Cabin, and then June the 8th we're going to Virginia, to Dryden, Virginia, and we're investigating a haunted farmhouse. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So it's open to the public. If you guys would like to come, it's minimal charges, for anything. The Aiken Carriage House started out as a Civil War hospital, and then it became a leprosy colony, and then it became a carriage house, and it's very haunted. And this area is known for the Masters, because Aiken is not far from Augusta, Georgia, North Augusta area. And so there's a cemetery in Aiken where a lot of Civil War soldiers are buried. And there are brothers that created a hand grenade during the Civil War. They're called the Bomb Brothers. And one's buried on one end of the cemetery and the other one's on the other side. And people that live around it, because this is in the middle of town, so they will tell you that they see lights fly across the cemetery back and forth from one grave to the other.
So they're lobbing hand grenades at each other.
Yep. They're playing some kind of football, I guess, some kind of spirit grenade football. But people that live in the area will come out, and if they see you investigating, they'll come tell you, yes, we sit out, drink sweet tea on our porch and watch the lights go back and forth.
We watch OP live all the time. And it's always funny to hear one of the cops going, you don't have this, or hand grenades. And maybe that's why. But they always throw in hand grenades. And I'm like, how many people really carry hand grenades in their cars?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
No, but like I said, maybe it's a South Carolina thing.
Maybe.
So
I don't have any.
Yeah, because mean to ask that, because it's Richland.
They're joking.
Oh, I know they're joking, but where would you get that? If I was getting frisked in Baltimore, they wouldn't say that. They'd say, knives or needles,
Yeah.
So, and down here, I don't know what they'd say. I still don't know. So,
What's the oldest spirit you've ever encountered?
When I was investigating the Gilded Bat in Newberry, South Carolina, from my last class field trip that we had opened to the public, and I did the medicine wheel, there was a spirit that came through and said that she had lived there for 300 years.
Okay.
She said, I've lived here for 300 years. And she talked about bringing that there was an angel there with her that brought her through to talk to me. So that let me know that the medicine wheel had been accepted and my request had been accepted. And she was an amazing lady. She was telling us, she's very pioneer sounding. She had her own farm, and of course it was self-sustainable because that's what you had to do back then, And then we uncovered a little love triangle too, because it was, like I said, many layers of spirit that happens when you have that, when you use medicine wheel. But I don't know of anybody that does it like I do, or that does it in investigation. So it's kind of a me thing, I guess. But this lady told me that she had the house, the Gilded Bat had furniture in it that was original to the house. And the house was built in 1900. And Dr. Cobb owned it. And he gave money to his family members. They couldn't pay him back, so they paid him back in slaves. Well, he didn't believe in slaves. He said everybody's free. But they had no place to go. They didn't have any way to get where they needed to be. So they stayed there and worked for him. And his wife made sure all of them could read, because they needed to read the Bible for themselves, according to her. And so as it turns out, the bed that I was sleeping in was original to the house. And someone that had been sent back with some of the slaves that were paid to Dr. Cobb, as it turns out, one of the ladies that came back across was actually someone's girlfriend. They couldn't get married because he was white, she was black, and he was a prominent member of the family. So they came together because Dr. Cobb said that they would be free. And so they could live and be together. And their little girl grew up at Dr. Cobb's home. She could read. She helped take care of her mom, and she became a nurse. And she was the one talking to me. And she told me that she had twins in the bed that I was sleeping in. That she had fallen in love. She had fallen in love with another family member, and they couldn't get married because of the same situation as her mother. And so I thought that was pretty interesting that they had this beautiful, he may have even gotten married to somebody else because, that's what you did back then. But they had a beautiful little family together, and they did leave and go up north. And eventually Dr. Cobb sold everything and moved. So I'm wondering how many family members had married people that were, originally a slave, and they moved up north to have a free life together. It makes you wonder, but it was just such a beautiful story that they found love in the middle of all that mess, and that she had twins in that bed. It's just, I never got to the bottom if it was a boy or girl, and it wasn't obviously it wasn't the mattress. It was,
No.
but it was the bed. But the house was just so brimming with activity. Yeah, they had quite the life.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're coming to the end of the show.
Oh,
I know it. It is what it is. We all got shit to do.
I know it.
Even though no matter how much we really like talking to you, we'll have to get you on again.
I would love it. I would
Right.
love it. And I'll make sure I'm stationed to work from home, so I'm not having to drive back in the craziness. I'm getting rid of the van. It's a work van. I work for a company that does home remodeling, and so this is my marketing vehicle. But I'm getting a car, so I won't have to fight the wind much longer. But
I'm just glad you made it
Unless
home
you get a
safe.
Prius.
Well, yeah, unless you get a Prius.
Yeah.
You'll feel the wind in that.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Not to
before.
mention every bump in the road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Facebook. My name is very unique, Leitreanna, Leitreanna. Just put that in a Google search, I'll pop up. Or you can go to my website, familyspirit.net, and you can find me on YouTube. I'm just around. I'd love to hear from everybody. Like I said, on Facebook, I can't add any more friends, but you can follow me and we can message that way. And Instagram, things like that, and thank you everyone for watching Repossessed on Hulu. It's on Apple TV and Disney Plus now as well. So
Did it get renewed for a second season?
I don't know yet. It hasn't aired in Canada yet, so it should air soon, and then I should know something.
So have you already filmed some for the second season, just in case?
No, not yet. No, but I have filmed some other stuff. So I'll be making announcements as those things come out too.
Well, we can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, thank you.
What time is your show on Monday nights?
Monday nights, it starts at 7 p.m. and it goes to 9. And I would love to have you guys come on the show. Right now, we're doing a series called Tell Me Your Ghost Story. I'm looking for the origin stories from people just that are either investigators or people that have had a paranormal experience, whether it be in a hospital, a bed and breakfast, on, in a field that turns out to be a battleground that you didn't even know, how did the paranormal touch your life? And we've been getting some pretty crazy, very interesting stories. And sometimes we have evidence to go with it. So we had a nurse on this past Monday and her story was really incredible. So.
Well, I'm so glad that you've been doing your show for 11 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So guys, you can watch hers in replay and watch mine live Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central, right
that
here
works.
on the Visual Rights Network and on the Paranormal Pride YouTube and Paranormal Pride Facebook page. And I don't know who my guest is going to be on Monday. Like I said before, we're not sure what's going on, how I'm going to be feeling since I have surgery coming up and stuff.
My.
So we'll deal with that as it comes around. And
well, let me know how
I'll
you're
let
doing.
you know.
Yeah.
And Carl, go ahead.
Okay. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight in the comments over here on the Bill of Rights Network Facebook page, on BoRNTV, on Rumble, Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment Facebook page, Things Network Facebook page, and of course, always Japan Paranormal, where we're live in Japan and everything, and all our Facebook pages there. Check them out over there.
Very cool. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yep. Come back here next Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Central, and we'll surprise you with a guest or surprise ourselves with one.
Yeah, we don't know. So
Again, I'm not scheduling people until I know how I'm going to be feeling.
That's
Right.
true.
Or at least close to how I'm feeling. So it is what it is. But thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a great night.
Good
See
night.
you next week on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. Everybody have a great evening.